Thank you for inviting me. Now, you're all wondering why I'm wearing this great big blue dress. I work from home, so it's normally cheap Tesco jeans. I suppose you don't know what Tesco is. It's like the cheapest store there is. Tesco jeans, white t-shirt, and there I am, sitting in my living room table. And I had to go to Dubai a couple of months ago because I managed to inveigle my way to convince the Guardian newspaper to go with me to go and visit one of the schools that was delivering something very exciting. And I thought, I can't go in my Tesco jeans and t-shirt. They're going to find me out. They're going to suss me out. So I phoned up a friend of mine and I said, look, I'm in serious trouble. I put on a lot of weight. I don't sleep. I eat all night. And I need something to wear. She said, send me your measurements and I won't make them public on social media. Promise. So I sent her my measurements and she sent me measurements going, you are what? Anyway, the next day this box arrived. And my dear friend had worked through the night and she'd made me this beautiful dress. Because I was so concerned that I would have to meet the king of the UAE. And I just thought, I can't really go there in my Tesco jeans and shirt. But her clothing is all sustainable. So it's basically clothes that once you've made this outfit, it's couture really. And you should be able to wear this for life. I got back from Dubai and I sent the box back. And I realized that was actually a bit of a snub. And then Amber invited me to this and I thought, oh my word, I can't go in my Tesco jeans and t-shirts. I had to message my friend and I said, you know that box? And she said, I'll send it back to you. And here it is. And I just thought I need to honor her because she's made me, feel confident about standing here and presenting to you. So I'm going to just give you a quick background into my history. I didn't go to university, not in the normal sense of the word, and I'm not a school teacher. When my daughter was 4 years old, I tried to get her into a school up the road from me, and the school did an assessment and they said, sorry, we can't accept your daughter. She can't write her own name. She'll hold our children back because they've been prepared for this in kindergarten. I got in the car and on Women's Hour, BBC, they had a thing come up and they said, 1 in 3 children will be functionally illiterate by the age of 11. Well, I sat there and I thought, my God, that's going to be my girl. That can't happen. I pulled over, had a good sob, and then I remembered how my father taught me to write. And I created some exercises for my daughter. She learned to write her name in 8 days, and I took her back to the school, and they accepted her, and she overtook their pupils within 3 weeks. And the head teacher said, can you show us what you were doing? And we ran a trial with some preschool children. She told some head teachers in some failing state schools, and I won't bore you with the details, but I ended up approaching a very big stationery manufacturer, Bic, Bic pens, and they sponsored my trials in 2 schools, then 5 schools, then 50 schools, and then Start Me handwriting became so big in the United Kingdom that I could no longer cope with it. But I learned one valuable lesson in that process. I learned that you couldn't just give a teacher a set of instructions. You had to turn that teacher into a handwriting specialist teacher. And I figured out how to do that. And that's why the product just went crazy. So it went into a lot of schools. I gave it to a very big resources reseller, and I trained their staff how to use it. And then I thought, well, I'm going to spend the next year or so creating an at-home version. And by pure chance, I went to a dinner one evening and I met Angus Mackay, who's the director of Planet for UNITAR. And UNITAR is this little-known United Nations agency that delivers all of the climate change education for 30 UN agencies. So it's UNESCO, WHO, UNDP, and all sorts of other acronyms I can't even remember myself. And he told me about something that they were doing, where they were Skyping children in Switzerland, were Skyping children in Ivory Coast in Africa. And the children in Switzerland were saying, oh, this climate change, not cool. We can't ski. And the children in the Ivory Coast were going back and saying, We have no fish in our lakes and our rivers. We have no trees. We need to go and collect firewood, and we're being raped and abused and accosted and harmed on our way to go and collect kindling. We have electricity blackouts, and all we want to do is go to school. This made me very angry. At 3 a.m. in the morning, I sent him a very nasty WhatsApp message. And I said, whatever you're doing, it's not working. He messaged back. And he said, well, what would you do? And I said, I would do this, 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 this. And he said, can you come to Geneva tomorrow? I said, we are tomorrow. And I went over to Geneva with my friend Denise Meisner. And we were supposed to be there for 1 day. 5 days later, we said, you have to let us leave. And they wheeled us out in front of these 30 agencies. And they asked us what our idea would be. And I said, because of my background of creating this handwriting scheme, which most people didn't want to know about anyway, because they all said to me, oh, but, all you need to know is how to type. I said, well, because I've done that, I think that I have the answer to be able to get climate change education into every school in the world. Anyway, he said, how are you going to do that? And I said, I'm going to upskill teachers. I'm going to turn teachers into climate change specialists. Well, he showed me this website that was hardly used, and I'm going to give you a quick look at it. It was this one here. This website was created by UNITAR for developing countries' governments, and it's called www.uncelearn.org. And this website had these courses on it. And when I logged in the first time, I think there were about just under 1,000 certificates over 7 years. But that was fine for the UN because they were happy that they were working out in these developing countries. And I took 5 courses from this website. I went through it and I chose 5 courses. I chose climate change, introductory e-course on climate change over there. 5 minutes. And then I chose open online course on gender and environment, climate change, international legal regime, children and climate change, cities and climate change, human health and climate change. I split tested them with the head teachers that I'd already had this relationship with the handwriting scheme. And they all came back and said, there's absolutely no way we're going to do these courses. So what I did was I turned them into audiovisual versions. I was not going to accept defeat. If anybody knows me, you will know that I'd rather stick my head on a block and let you chop it off than give in. I persevered. I hired in developers and website guys and editors, and I got it working. I launched it on the 22nd of April last year, and my remit was, can you get this into 80 schools in the United Kingdom? And I think what they thought was that I would go away. They didn't know me well enough. 5 days later, Angus sent me a message, and he said, how are you doing? How are you getting on? And I said, Angus, we're in 1,873 schools. Oh no, 1,973. Oh no. And he said, shut it down. Shut it down now. And stubbornly, I left it open. By December, we had 329,000 schools around the world in more than 40 countries. But we were a victim of our own success because there was no funding from the UN whatsoever, because the UN's remit is developing countries. And I was told, we're very sorry, there's no money for this. And I didn't want to give up. So I remortgaged my home. And I decided that what I would do was I would build a closed social media platform. And the reason I did that was to take the teachers that signed up away from Facebook, because it mines your data, and it pushes items down the algorithm. And I built a platform, which I will show you later on, with hundreds of United Nations items in it, so that teachers could build lessons. And we started remapping curriculums around the world. And we built in hyperlinks so that we could give these teachers a curriculum where they could automatically just access lessons about climate change. Now, you've shown me your items over there. You have no idea what I'm going to do with those. I'm going to take those items and I'm going to put them on Educate Global Social so that all of those teachers around the world can have access to them and that the children working in there can use them. But the reason that I'm here is because I need your help. There's only so much that a mum in Hitchin in Hertfordshire can do in her Tesco jeans and her Tesco t-shirt. She needs help. We need courses to be added to this program. We need pathways to higher education. We need conflict resolution courses. We need items on that platform that will transform our children's knowledge base, because we know that once you have one teacher teaching one child, that child goes and teaches two parents at home. Those two parents at home go and teach the community. And then we have schools where we have entire schools where all of the teachers are climate change teachers now. And all of a sudden you start transforming communities. I'm talking about communities that are downtrodden socially, financially. They are black mining towns. It's known as the black coal mine towns, Derbyshire, black country in the United Kingdom. These are parents that are now going on Facebook saying, I used to be a climate denier, and now I am embarrassed because now I am a climate activist. And if we can do that in just one school, and then the next school, and the next school, we can transform societies very quickly. And I want to close with something. Have you all seen this timetable? It's called Metrolink. Can you put your hands up if you've used this before? Hardly any of you. I came from England and I landed on LAX on, when was it? So I'm a bit, the day before. And the lovely man that checked me in, the security gentleman that sort of like allows me in, or not, you have to stand there going, please let me in. I've got to go and see, I've got to go to this university. And he said, don't bother getting in a car because you'll be stuck in traffic from 2 p.m. until 7:30. Go to the beach. And I thought, no, I can't be doing this. So what I did was I caught the bus, the shuttle, the LAX shuttle to LA Union Station, $9, 45 minutes. Boom! We just passed through the traffic because we had preferential treatment, our own lane. And the bus was full. Then I got a train, $9.70, all the way to Irvine. It was empty. Why do you not use your trains? You have these beautiful double-decker monsters, and they come every hour. If more of you used those trains, you wouldn't have motorways choked up. Your bathrooms in the toilets had tissue paper, soap, running water, and they smelt amazing. Come on, guys. I could use the onboard Wi-Fi. I didn't have to sit there cursing anybody, one person in a gas guzzler. Societal mindset change. We need to change our mindsets. Us. Each and every one of us. Because when we start changing our mindsets, we start promoting those ideas and concepts and opportunities to each other. There's nothing wrong with going with the train. Nothing. You don't need to be in a gas guzzler. And there was something that somebody sent to me that I'm just going to read to you quickly before I get kicked off by Amber. Yeah. The fossil fuel industry will need to adapt or die. The more we educate everybody about their own carbon footprint. Travel is an ego pastime, like, dare we say it, smoking. It will shift from being perceived for smart guys and cruisers to dumb guys and losers.
Wow, thank you. So that was just really brilliant.